everybody, Shut Up Shake here, back with another Get Flanked replay. Today I'm playing with some of my clanmates, Klaus and Gottfried, and we're on Highway. And I am in the new German light tank, the Tier 8 M41-90 GF, or girlfriend, and Klaus and Gottfried are in Tier 9 mediums. And I want to just pause it here for a sec to talk about why I recorded this replay. And it's because it's a good example of when the circumstances of the match convince me to play my tank in a very atypical manner. So I'm in a high tier light tank, a scout tank, if you will, and you sort of, at the beginning of a match, you have to ask yourself, okay, where do I go? What's my role in this match? You know, what am I supposed to do to help my team win? And usually light tanks, you think, you know, what's their purpose? Well, they're fast, they're maneuverable, and they have good vision. So you try to send them to places where they can help the team get vision or control the map. And Highway, generally, light tanks play on this side of the map, the west side. In particular, down the one line, or sometimes they'll sort of come here to try to get early lights. And so that's my initial thought. Oh, I'll just go there. The problem is, if you look at the team compositions, they have a lot of high-tier medium tanks and light tanks. They have more than us, and so let's just assume that all of the light tanks and medium tanks on each team go to the one line, we're going to be overmatched, which is not going to be good for us because this is Highway and we're in the north spawn, which is very difficult to get out of the one line once you get in there. You have to go down a hill, through watery area, and up a hill to get to the one line, which means if you need to bail out of there, you need to go down a hill, through wet area, and up a hill again. So essentially, once you commit to the one line from the north, you're stuck there. So if there's the potential for us getting overmatched and it's almost impossible to get out of there, it convinces me that it's maybe not worth going there at all. So where do I go? Well, I could try to go here and get some early spots, but just like pushing to the one line, if I push here, I can get isolated and it's hard to get out if I get too much pressure. So, well, what's left for me to do? Well, I'm going to decide to do something completely different. I'm going to go to the city, which is usually where the heavies and the you know, super TDs go to brawl it out. But my platoon decides, you know what, we're just going to blitz the city, and because of that, we're essentially giving up the 1-2 line to the enemy. And so our idea is, if we can win the city quickly as possible, we can always come back and defend our cap from the tanks pushing out at it from the 1-2 line. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to push really, really fast into the city. And you can see my platoon mates are coming with me. The heavies in general are coming with. And we don't really have much pushing out into the 1-2 line, which is fine. Anything that goes out there is going to die pretty quickly. That's my failed attempt at using the new physics handbrake to do like a cool, sweet ass like skid turn and just completely fail. So I'm going to poke the wall right here and try to spot some heavies that might be poking out. And instead I spot a light tank, and this FCM just rolls right by me, doesn't shoot. So I'm going to back off a little bit. You know, I'm a little, what I did was a little aggressive, so I wanted to, you know, reset my position, and I see that this object has pretty much overextended as well. So I'm going to try to get some shots on him, but it ends up he kind of just like YOLOs right into me. I've got friends with me, I'm not too worried, but he does ammo rack me, which is unfortunate. And we clean him up pretty quick, which is really great because he's a tier 9. So we've deleted him, we deleted one of their light tanks, and we're being really aggressive in the city, which is great. So I'm going to continue to be an aggro light and try to like push forward and get shots on stuff to help us win this flank as quickly as possible. So I see this Roomba. I'm going to end up taking what I thought was a good blind shot at him. But it doesn't pan out. I do get a good HE pen on him. The GF has really good HE. It's about over 100 millimeters of pen. And I still have it loaded right here. I probably should have switched back. I don't exactly know what I was thinking. I think I just forgot that I had it loaded. As you can see here, we're like just utterly destroying the city. And it's pretty much just the C-75. There's my Pro League driving right there. But it's pretty much the C-75 left, and then we can get out of here. Because you can see that they have taken the 1 line, and they've even pushed 2 tanks into the 6 line towards our cap. So our next thing to do is just to go back as quickly as possible. Our gamble has worked out perfectly. We've eliminated a huge chunk of their tanks. We've even left a few tanks in base to protect it, and now we're all just YOLOing back towards our cap. So now the circumstances of the match have changed. Essentially, I'm in a position now where I can go back to being a more traditional light tank. So I'm thinking, how do I get vision for my team? How do I use my maneuverability and my speed to control vision and get control of the map? So what I end up doing here is doing a pretty traditional. I think I take a few more shots and then decide. I think I decide to D-light here, and then do a sort of traditional scout run along the E line here, and I'll get into some cover by the bridge, and then I'll be able to light pretty much everything in this area of the map. I'm also wondering where the T-50 is, because we haven't seen him in a while, and he's right frickin' in front of me, which is a little terrifying. He can kill me in 2 shots of his auto loader, and he clearly knows I'm here because he's trying to kill me. So I decide, instead of trying to trade with him, I'm just going to take shots at the tanks I have shots on. But I'm also checking to make sure. Klaus is able to keep me safe from the Skoda. And at this point, you know, we've won the game. They essentially, even though we gave them the 1-2 line for free, they weren't able to exploit that faster than we were able to steamroll the city. And because of that, they sort of put piecemeal pressure on our cap. They sent a few tanks over here. Had they maybe swarmed this area faster, they could have put a tank on cap and pushed out against the tanks we had in the city to prevent us from coming back and resetting the cap. But they didn't do that. So, like I said, sometimes the consequences of the team compositions in the maps force you to play a tank in an odd way. And as long as you sort of coordinate with your team and your platoon mates, doing that sometimes pays off. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Here's me using that dank German AG, and I fail to pen him with 100 millimeters of penetration 3 times in a row. I could have switched to AP and just finished him in like 2 shots, but at this point I was so on tilt from the HE not penning, I decided I had to finish him with HE on principle. And that's the game. And here's a quick look at the end plate. This was a mastery badge for me, as well as a Confederate. I ended up doing quite a bit of damage on my own, 3,000, 2 kills, but I also did 4 spots and almost 2,500 in spotting and assistance damage. And it was just one of those sort of games where the composition of the teams and the map convinced us to play our tanks in a sort of atypical manner. In a very, though, classic match of you winning your flank faster than the other team wins the other flank. By winning the city very quickly, we were able to flex back to our cap and protect it from them pushing out of the other flank into it. And that's it. Thanks for watching.